Hello there, you guys. Welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm officially updating you on some more current latest news. As I did say earlier on that I currently published a video earlier on. It was currently on record. I couldn't actually do it live because I didn't have any Wi-Fi connection. But if you do consider, guys, go check out Indeed. So on this video today, there's lots to negotiate with you, including a bit of transfer rumours that are going in the media, and we're going to be discussing a lot more things as well. So the first topic of the development I'm going to update you on is in relation to the young star Jadon Sancho. Well, there's a narrative that's been going on about for the last week or two now in relation to Jadon Sancho. Reports are coming out saying in relation to Jadon Sancho that reportedly he will only agree to join Manchester United in the summer if we potentially get a Champions League football. Obviously we're sitting in the top four at the moment. Obviously when Solskjaer came in, Manchester United of course were 11 points behind top four. Reportedly I think we'd have to pay in the region of around £100 million, even though it did say the other day, reading up, hi, it's Zach and Grayson. I don't know who this is. As I was saying, I was reading up, it was around £70 million reportedly Borussia Dortmund wanted. Very, very young player indeed. I think he'd be a great addition to the Manchester United team. Of course, obviously, we do need to address that right-hand side, as I currently said. But he's only 18 years of age. He only broke into the England senior first team last year, did the player as well. Obviously, I think if Manchester United can come to an agreement of getting Jadon Sancho in the summer, and that's staggering amounts of money for a young player at 18 years of age. But he's grown and developed, he's flourished fantastically well as Jadon Sancho. But as I did say, if Manchester United can come to an agreement in the summer, reportedly Manchester City would get around 15% of this transfer fee, because obviously I think they have got a buyback option on the current player, meaning they've inserted a buyback clause in his current contract. But obviously, of playing in English football before. He had a couple of years with Manchester City. Obviously, he didn't break into the first team with Manchester City. This is the majority of the reason why he left Man City. He spent a couple of years at Man City. Now he's been at Borussia Dortmund in a couple of years. And since he's broke into the first team, his performances have been fantastic indeed. But we know that it won't come cheap, for Manchester United, to get Jadon Sancho in the summer. He's very young in his generation. Obviously, as I did say to you, I expect, 3 or 4 experienced Manchester United, players to leave in the summer, as I currently said. So it would be ideal, for us to get some young players, that could grow and develop and flourish under Solskjaer, because we've got young players in the generation like Martial's progression's been good this season, Lingard's progression's been fantastically well this season, and so too Rashford, been playing very, very well centrally. So it would be ideal, if we could get some young players in. But this Jadon Sancho, actually began his career at Watford, as a young player, this Jadon Sancho. But obviously it'll cost a lot of money, as I did say. He's obviously, based on his performances, he's won the Bundesliga Player of the Month. Borussia Dortmund only paid £7-8 million to him. So if you look at it financially, if they are to sell him for the 70 million or 100 million, whatever it is, in the summer, financially, they would make a huge profit on the player. He's only 18 years of age. So Man United have reportedly identified him as our number one target for the summer, because we've seen Borussia Dortmund, do business, with few of their players, as we all know. We've seen them sell Christian Pulisic. He's only 20 years of age. I think obviously he's going to be officially Chelsea player next season, obviously, because he's been loaned back to Borussia Dortmund for the remainder of the season. But Chelsea and Dortmund come to an agreement on a £58 million fee. We saw Ousmane Dembele, was it sometime last year? I can remember. He got sold to Barcelona for £106 million as well. Ousmane Dembele. We saw Aubameyang get sold as well. So Borussia Dortmund are known, for doing business, especially with their young players. But reportedly, Manchester United have got to get Champions League this season. Obviously, that'll invest us more money, and we've got to get Champions League for him, to want to come to Old Trafford in the summer, as I currently said. So we've got to get Champions League. Then he'll agree to come to Manchester United in the summer. But we've obviously got to pay around £100 million, because we didn't invest in the January window. Overall, since Alex Ferguson's retired, we have spent a lot of money. We spent £700-800 million. We've seen players come in and we've seen players go, as I currently said. So that's a big breaking news on Jadon Sancho. I heard earlier on that Liverpool had also showed an interest in Jadon Sancho as well. But he's a very, very good young player. He's grown and developed fantastically well, and he's fitted into the Borussia Dortmund team very, very well. So he's proven himself fantastically well in Germany, as I said. So it would be good for him to come back and experience the Premier League, because he's obviously had that experience before, as I said. But other names have been mentioned, in the process who Manchester United, could go for in the summer as well. We know that Benfica youngster, Felix, can't pronounce his first name, only 19 years of age again, very, very young, only broke into the first team with Borussia Dortmund last year, did the player, and he's worth staggering amounts of money as well. He's got a buyout clause of around, 105 million pounds, or something like that, this Felix, but he's yet to make his senior debut for Portugal, this Felix. Reportedly, a few teams have expressed their interest in. Reportedly, Man United have instructed scouts, to keep a close eye out on the player. I think, scouts have been watching this Felix on a regular basis, but I think he can play as a winger. I think that's his main position, but he can operate in other positions as well. But he will probably take a bid in the process of around the £100 million, to get Felix in the summer. But he's got a buyout clause, as I did say, of around 105 million. Liverpool allegedly had a £61 million bid turned down for him back in January as well. So he could be available in the summer. But since he's broken to Benfica first team, reportedly his performances have been very, very good indeed. But there's news coming out as well, again, in relation to Koulibaly. I want to give you an update on. Reportedly, Man United have instructed Scout, to keep a close eye on him, because we know reportedly he's our major number one target, in the summer, to strengthen our defensive area, to address our defensive deficiencies. And in relation to Koulibaly, reportedly we know he's been our number one target. Linked to him in January, linked to him last summer, as I currently said. But reports were coming out the other day that we have seen him. Reportedly it did say Koulibaly is happy that he's attracting interest, from quite a few teams. But obviously Man United have been the main team that have been monitoring and interested in him. He did say he's happy that he's attracting interest and he's happy with the transfer interest, but he did say he's happy with Napoli. He's looking to grow and develop and get better and better and better at Napoli, is Koulibaly. But reportedly he did say he's fully committed to Napoli. I think Manchester United are willing to pay the £90 million, that I think Napoli want in the summer, or will it be more than £90 million? But obviously we've got that financial power, to currently meet his valuation, Koulibaly's, as we all currently know, because we didn't invest in the January transfer window. But as I did say, he's rated at around £90 million. In the process, Manchester United were in talks, throughout the course of the January transfer window of obviously, getting Koulibaly. In the process, Manchester United, of course, had 3 bids, were turned down for Koulibaly. The recent one was 95 million. But it did indicate, actually, was it last year when, Koulibaly had suffered this racial abuse, that he indicated he was unhappy at Napoli. But he's grown and developed and flourished fantastically well. And I think he'd look good in our back line. You've put him alongside Lindelof. And I think Lindelof's progression as a Manchester United player this season has been absolutely fantastic indeed. Lindelof, I think, is showing that determination. He can play out from the back. He's galloping forward more. His passing's improved as well. His distribution's looking very, very good. And I think him and Bailly, are a very, very strong centre-back partnership, even though Eric Bailly has obviously been in and out of the team this season as a Manchester United player. But Bailly is still a very, very good player with great potential. I do think Bailly and Lindelof, complement each other very, very well. As I did say, they're building a relationship together. They're blending in fantastically well together now, as I said. As I did say, both of them, were on another level to Chris Smalling and Phil Jones. Obviously, Phil Jones and Chris Smalling have obviously been one of the longest servants here at Manchester United, because obviously Phil Jones and Chris Smalling have been here, since the Alex Ferguson era. Obviously, both players, Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, have obviously won everything here in English football, as we all know. But as I did say, Chris Smalling just recently recovered from injury, and I thought, as I did mention in relation to the Chelsea game yesterday, he had a great game yesterday. But Smalling obviously will, usually be first choice now, because obviously Solskjaer will probably mainly go with Bailly and Victor Lindelof. So from Solskjaer's perspective, I do understand yesterday why he probably rested De Gea, probably saving him for Liverpool, rested Bailly, saving him for Liverpool, as I clearly said. But it is important, we need an experienced centre-back there, and Koulibaly would be fantastic indeed. He's 27, he's tall, he's versatile, he's quick, he's got a lot of tenacity about his play. He's very, very good in the air as well as Koulibaly. He has still got a contract, don't forget, until 2023 with Napoli. Napoli only paid £7 million for him from Genk, as we all currently know. But Koulibaly indeed is an absolutely fantastic player, and he would be very, very good for Manchester United. We can make him the most expensive defender in the world, if we do get him in the summer, as I currently said. And obviously his performances under Ancelotti have been fantastic. When Maurizio Sarri was there, his performances were fantastic under Sarri as well. And he's currently one of the best players in world football, in his current position. That he does fill full as well, Koulibaly. But we know he's been our major number one target, as I said. So whether we get him in the summer or not, I do not know, because recent reports have said he's happy at Napoli, he's committed to Napoli. but he did say he does admit he's satisfied that he's attracting interest, as he did currently admit. But we know that other defenders have been mentioned as well, who of course Manchester United have been linked with. We know basically January and last summer, Manchester United were linked with that Eddie Militao, 20 years of age, Porto player, only been a Porto player since last summer. As I said, he has got a 40-odd million release clause as this player as well. Eddie Militao, he's got a 40-odd million release clause in his current contract. I think he's got 4 years on his current deal, but he's very, very young. He's only 20 years of age, as he said, Eddie Militao. Obviously, there hasn't been much rumours about it lately, but last summer we heard about it. Back in January, heard rumours about it, that Manchester United were interested in Eddie Militao. He wasn't a number one target, but we showed an interest in him as well. And reportedly, his performances this season have been very, very impressive indeed. And he's very, very young in his prime. And of course, he's Brazilian as well. But other defenders that got mentioned last summer as well, the likes of Harry Maguire. I do like Harry Maguire. Obviously, you can't compare him to the likes of Koulibaly and all that, or the Rafael Varanes, or the strong central defenders out there, or the Diego Gordons and all that. But I think Harry Maguire's progression as a Leicester player has been very, very good. I think this season his performances have been very, very good. Harry Maguire's 25 years of it. I think he's 25, is he 26? But his Premier League proven is Harry Maguire. I think he's good at latching on from set pieces as well. So I think his performances this season, for Leicester have been impressive. He signed a 5-year deal back in September last year as well, did Harry Maguire. And I think he's rated at around, £60 million anywhere, is Harry Maguire. But he does, know the Premier League, as I currently said. But the reports that, we were linked with him last summer as well. And we know that Toby Alderweireld, got mentioned last summer. But as I did say, I don't really want to see, Toby Alderweireld, coming at Manchester United, and to be quite honest with you. Because remember, in my own opinion, Toby Alderweireld is 29. He's lost that yard of pace. To be fair, he can prove to be a world-class central defender, can Toby Alderweireld. And I do think somewhere along the line, maybe he would be a good leader, if he was to come to Manchester United. And obviously, he's probably available for a reasonable fee in the summer. Because obviously, Tottenham have extended his current deal till 2020. Obviously, Tottenham have included a 25 million release clause in this as well. He is a good player, Alderweireld, but he's just aging up now. So I do think I think he needs to adjust his game more. There's definitely now areas of his game he does need to adapt, because he's gone off the boil a bit. He has lost that yard of pace, as I said. He's 29. You can't compare him nowhere near on the same level or same calibre as Koulibaly. But he's 29. He's Toby Alderweireld, and Koulibaly's 27. So potentially we'd get a lot longer out of Koulibaly. We'd get longer out of Koulibaly than we would out of Toby Alderweireld, and it would be good, for Koulibaly, to come and experience the Premier League, because obviously he's never played in the Premier League. But we may not get him in the summer, due to his recent comments. He's come out with saying, he feels happy at Napoli, he's committed to Napoli, he's hoping he can develop and flourish and get better and better and better. But we'll see what happens. But we have been linked, with a lot of central defenders, as I currently said, in the process. Obviously, we've still got to sort a few, more contract renewals out as well. But in my opinion, in relation to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I praise him very, very much. He's done an absolutely, fantastic job, since he's coming as Manchester United manager. Now as it stands, we've won 11 games out of 13 in all competitions. We've scored 30 goals in the process. Is it 30 goals? Yes, it is. Yes, it is 30 goals. We've won 7 away from home in all competitions as well. 5 in the league, 2 in the cup as well. As I said, we scored 30 goals, won 8 in the league, as I currently said. And, our defensive record away from home, especially since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in, has been absolutely fantastic indeed, as I said. But as I said, we've won 11 out of 13. We've won 7 away from home in all competitions. We've won 8 in the league, as I currently said. And we're doing really, really well. And Solskjaer's done a fantastic job. I give him all my credit. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's got us into the top 4 for the first time since the opening day of the season. As I did say earlier on in the video, when obviously Solskjaer came in, we was 11 points behind top 4. And obviously, a lot of people ruled us out, as I currently said. But me, Solskjaer is the right man for the job at Manchester United now, without a shadow of a doubt. Obviously, as reports were emerging, was it last week, as I did say, I think it's still uncertain who's going to be the next Manchester United permanent manager, but I think now Solskjaer is likely to get it, because as reports were emerging for the press, was it last week or a couple of weeks? Oh, I think it was last week sometime, that reportedly it did say that Solskjaer will be named Man United manager on a full-time basis at the end of the season. It did basically say that he will be named Man United manager on a full-time basis at the end of the season. It did say that it got revealed that the Man United board had come to a decision that that Solskjaer will be named Man United manager on a full-time basis at the end of the season. Probably won't be officially announced until the end of the season, as we currently speak. But obviously, this is based on his fantastic progression he's done so far, since he's come into the club, as I said. Obviously, we'd have to pay an additional fee of probably around £7-8 million, to get, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in on a full-time basis, because obviously, initially, we've paid 1.8 million, to get Solskjaer on a temporary basis, as I currently said. But for me, he's the right man for Manchester United, obviously. Reports are coming out saying we're going to get around £200 million to spend in the summer, as I said. We're going to get around £200 million to spend in the summer. Of course, United are still looking to hire a director of football to come in as well. As I said on my last video earlier on today, we do expect departures in the summer as well. So, we're going to have to find, potential replacements for that. But as a lot of people are saying, obviously a lot of our experienced players in the team are the ones causing us the issues, as I said. But as I did say on the video, I do expect probably at least 3 or 4 experienced players, to leave Manchester United in the summer, as I said. But as reports do mention, we're going to get around £200 million in the summer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is obviously going to have a big say on our transfer plans in the summer, regard whether he's going to be the Man United manager full time or it's going to be someone else, as I currently said. But yeah, he deserves a Man United managerial job on a full time basis, considering what he's done so far since he's come into the club, as I said. And of course, Solskjaer knows everything about this team. He knows the culture of the club. He knows the strappings of the club. His managerial style suits the club because he's got that winning pedigree, and he has got a fantastic pedigree. He flourished fantastically well as a player under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, under Sir Alex Ferguson. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? He flourished very, very well as a player. He won trophies. He had fantastic 11 years. This day, this team now at this day and age we've got. He watched some of this team, grow and develop. When he was, managing the reserve team, Solskjaer. This was one of them. Was including Paul Pogba, as I currently said. He didn't do so good at Cardiff when he was managing Cardiff. He only had a short tenure at Cardiff, but obviously Cardiff he got Cardiff relegated. When he was at Mould, he had a bad defensive record, but he still managed to win 2 Norwegian titles at Mould as well. And everybody's saying it now. Solskjaer's got to get the job on a full-time basis. Even, Ryan Giggs, who obviously was a great, great legend at Manchester United, a very, very long servant as a Manchester United player. He served 24 years as a Manchester United player. Ryan Giggs, won 13 Premier Leagues, won FA Cups, won Champions Leagues, won League Cups and FA Cups, as I just currently said. So he served 24 years as a player at Manchester United. I did Ryan Giggs. He obviously at one point got the interim manager job as well for a very, very short period. I think he managed 4 games, and I think he once was the assistant or something like that, Ryan Giggs. But Ryan Giggs, from his own perspective, did admit that he said Solskjaer should get the job on a full-time basis. He did say he should be appointed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but it should be kept private for now. He said something like that. Did Ryan Giggs as well. So from Ryan Giggs' perspective, he said Solskjaer, should get the job on a full-time basis as Manchester United manager. And this is what basically Ryan Giggs currently said. But I have a lot of belief in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I have a lot of trust with him because we have a board, that can invest in currently what Solskjaer wants in the summer, and he's going to have a big say on signings in the summer. So it'd be interesting to see. We need to get some new additions in, to get us back being a potential, title contenders. Solskjaer did admit a while back, it could take us a couple of years, to be up there, to be, potentially title contenders. But as I did say, we do need, if we are going to be, we do need signs in the summer, if we are going to elevate to that higher level, get us back up there competing, for silverware and winning silverware on a regular basis like we did do under Alex Ferguson 26, 27 years. But I've got the belief in Solskjaer that he can take this team forward, it can elevate this team to that higher level, and it can get us in that commanding position that we want. Give him the £200 million kick in the summer, address the areas where we do need to strengthen up, and then I think we can be potentially, title contenders next season without a shadow of a doubt. We probably need a centre defensive midfielder as well. That's fast and tenacious without the shadow of a doubt, indeed. But going back to yesterday's game, as I've said on my last 2 videos, what a great performance it was for Manchester United, as I currently said. Considering that Solskjaer had obviously rotated, that attacking line, considering that Anthony Martial's out injured, Jesse Lingard's out injured, and Martial's very, very young in his generation. Provides that width very, very good. He's skillful. He has that ability to attack, play balls, score goals as well as Anthony Martial. And only 23 years of age now. I think he's 23 years of age, but he's been a very, very good influential player for Manchester United. So we know that he's currently injured now. Martial, he's got He's got a groin injury. Lingard, whose progression's been good as a Manchester United player as well, very young in his generation. Jesse Lingard's progression's been good, but he's got a hamstring injury as well. So they are going to be out for a couple of weeks, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, did currently confirm. So he did rotate differently in that attacking line. We saw the lineup he went with Solskjaer yesterday. Obviously, he went with Romero in net. I get it. He's obviously rested De Gea for the game on Sunday. He went with Young at right back. He went with Lindelof and Chris Smalling as a centre-back partnership. He went with Luke Shaw at left-back. He went with the usual midfield trio, Herrera, Matic and Pogba. Mata was playing in like a free role, as we all currently know, and Lukaku and Rashford were up top, as I currently said. So he did make a few changes, so he did rotate it, differently in that attacking line. But I've got to say, what a great performance it was from Manchester United yesterday, and I think we can succeed now in the FA Cup, without a shadow of a doubt. We can succeed in the FA Cup, and what a great achievement that would be. I think we can get the top four this season, without a shadow of a doubt, indeed. But yeah, what a great performance it was for Manchester United, yesterday. You can see the motivations in the team, the confidence is in the team. You can see Solskjaer's brought the fluidity back to the team, the intensities in the team. We can see that free-flowing attacking football, as I said. And as Alan Shearer did mention, on BBC One, when the game was on yesterday, Solskjaer set a game plan from the start, as I currently said. But you can see the structure of the team's right, the cohesion of the team's right. Everyone, is putting a shift in as well, because Solskjaer's tactics are right, and basically he just knows what he's currently doing. He doesn't rest on his laurels, and he shows that inspiration. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he's got the team to express themselves. He's got the team to express themselves, get them enjoying football. As he did say he was going to do. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when he came into the club, and this is what exactly the team have done. He's got them playing in the right vein, the right manner, which is very, very good to see. But yesterday, individual performances, I thought, the majority of the team played very, very well. Lindelof were fantastic yesterday. He was showing that, he was showing that he can play out from the back. Lindelof, Chris Smalling, that was on his second start under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but he played very, very well yesterday, as well did Chris Smalling, even though it was his second start under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He put a good defensive display in Smalling. I thought Herrera, pulled them strings off fantastically well in the midfield as well. Also getting his name on the score sheet, and it was two great headers in the first half, that currently won us the game. Pogba scoring again. Also getting an assist as well, for the first goal for Herrera. And it was Rashford, lovely inviting cross, for Pogba's second goal, was absolutely fantastic indeed. But in relation to Pogba, I've been very, very impressed with him. This is the best we've seen of him under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Paul Pogba. And for me, he was the man of the match, was Paul Pogba, without a shadow of a doubt. As you can see now, since Solskjaer's coming, the team's been rejuvenated. He's rejuvenated the team. Paul Pogba has been getting the freedom to express himself. He's been providing good service to the front men, as I said earlier on in my last video. He's been playing them delicate passes as Paul Pogba, and he's like two players in one when he's playing in this kind of Paul Pogba. And he's a player, as I did say earlier on, he can be on at least 14, 15 goals a season, Paul Pogba, playing like this. And he's starting to, replicate the form, when he's starting to replicate the form as he did show at Juventus, because when he was younger, he had 4 fantastic years in Italy with Juventus, did Paul Pogba as well. At this moment in time, he's one of the best. Midfielders in world football. Is Paul Pogba, as I said, obviously looks more effective, when he's playing in that number 10 position. But Paul Pogba potentially at the moment is definitely one of our best outfield players, without a shadow of a doubt. I think the time of his runs are good. His breaks box to box have been looking very, very good indeed. Paul Pogba's. I think that's 14 goals this season in all competitions as well. Paul Pogba. So I've been very, very impressed with him under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. So I thought he played absolutely fantastic. He ran the show in the midfield, did Paul Pogba, without a shadow of a doubt. Herrera pulled the strings off very, very well as well. Also getting his name on the score sheet. What a fantastic header it was. And hopefully somewhere along the line, we can come to an agreement of getting Ander Herrera a new contract at Manchester United, because I think his progression's always been good, and I think he's always been a very, very consistent player as Ander Herrera. If I'm going to be quite honest with you, he's always been a very, very consistent player. We've had him since 2014, when we got him from Atletico Bilbao, Ander Herrera. But especially since Solskjaer's coming, his form's been rejuvenated. He's showing that determination more. We've got good ball playing midfielders now in Herrera, Macho and Pogba, because I do think, they're blending in well together. I think they're complementing each other very, very well. But in relation to Herrera, since Solskjaer's coming, he's playing more regularly from the start. He's playing a bigger part in the team, and hopefully somewhere along the line, we can come to an agreement of getting him a new contract. But it was good, to see Herrera get his name on the score sheet as well. Lukaku, played as well. Romelu Lukaku, I didn't think he was the best player on the pitch, but I thought, Lukaku, I know he's slow. I've got strong reservations about him. His first touch was concerning, but I thought he was chasing them channels very, very well yesterday. Romelu Lukaku, when he was playing up top, alongside Rashford, I thought Lukaku was chasing them channels very, very well indeed. Obviously, Lukaku, as we all know, has lost his place in the Manchester United starting 11, as we all know, because we know mainly Rashford has obviously, been first choice over Lukaku, because as I did say, what Rashford can offer up front, Lukaku cannot do this because Lukaku's slow. His first touches concern me, as I said, and he's slow and all that. But he's still a proven goal scorer in the Premier League, is Romelu Lukaku as well, because as he has proven, throughout his playing career, Romelu Lukaku, he has currently proven this. As I said, he did it with Everton, did it with Chelsea, did it with West Brom, and he did it in his first season with United. As I said, he scored 27 goals in all competitions in his first season. Did Romelu Lukaku, but I think since Solskjaer's come in, his form has been slightly rejuvenated. I think he's slightly improved as Romelu Lukaku. If I'm going to be quite honest with you. I think his form has been slightly rejuvenated as Romelu Lukaku, since he's since Solskjaer's come in. But we know mainly he hasn't been first choice, Romelu Lukaku, as I currently said. But now due to the injuries to Martial, Lingard and all that, he could get more opportunities. Could Romelu Lukaku from the start, as I said. And obviously in relation to Sanchez as well. In my own opinion, he's the only player for me now, as it stands, who needs to improve as a Manchester United player. And obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was discussing about this. He did say Sanchez needs a goal. Sanchez needs a Manchester United goal. Obviously, to give him that confidence, as I currently said. Sanchez has been here just over a year now, as we all currently know. And we know that he isn't the player that he currently was at Arsenal. Obviously, he's 30 years of age now. Obviously, I do think he has lost that yard of pace, to be quite honest with you, as Alexis Sanchez. But, Solskjaer did confirm that he is confident that, Sanchez's form will improve as a Manchester United player. Because let's be honest, he has lacked goals. He has suffered a couple of injuries, as I currently said as well. Alexis Sanchez, he is 30 now. He's proven in the Premier League as Alexis Sanchez. But of course, he's been here just over the currently said. We know mainly he hasn't been first choice anywhere, Alexis Sanchez, because we know mainly Martial's been first choice on the left-hand side. But now, as I did say, as he's now got an injury, Martial, again, Sanchez, could be given more opportunities, to try and improve on his game. There's definitely areas of his game does need to adapt, but I think maybe Sanchez, should be rotated, maybe try him in a different position, because, he is versatile. He can play centrally, he can play on the right and all that. But we know mainly when we play him, we do play him on the left-hand side, but mainly... But mainly, Sanchez, from my perspective, may not be in the position when he does play on that left-hand side. He may not be getting the freedom. He may, he may be in a restricted position, Alexis Sanchez. So maybe try him in another position and see how he currently performs. Alexis Sanchez, as I currently said, he's on over £500,000 a week, so we basically do want to see the best of him. But I think now maybe he could be in contention, to play against Liverpool, because obviously Martial's injured now. Probably maybe matter, probably may start against Liverpool as well. Rashford, as I said, I've been very, very impressed with Marcus Rashford's progression as well. His pace is good. His enthusiasm. He's he's enthusiastic. He's Marcus Rashford as well, and he's grown and developed fantastically as well. And I think he's always been a consistent player. And he's very, very young, but I think since Solskjaer's coming, he has been playing a key role. He's been scoring more goals. His finishing's improved as well, and he is an efficient finisher. Is Marcus Rashford, and he's an unbelievable player. For 21 years of age, he's been a United player. Since the age of 7. Progressed up the ranks very, very well. He's been in the senior squad with Manchester United, since 2016, as well as Marcus Rashford. But as I did say, you can actually operate Marcus Rashford out wide, as I currently said. But I think he looks mainly better in his central position. So basically, he's our number 1, number 9, as I said. But as I'm saying that Martial and Lingard are now injured, I think Lukaku could get a bit more opportunities for now. Sanchez could maybe get a bit more opportunities for now. But I think maybe Martial and Lingard should be back for the Palace or Southampton game, as I currently said. But yeah, it was a great performance yesterday. Chelsea were very, very poor. As I said, I thought Alonso's crossing were very, very poor from, their perspective. Alonso's crossing were poor. I think Chelsea did start to grow into the game a little bit as the first half went on. We started very, very well. We looked precise on the ball, distinctive in our play, comfortable on the ball. As I said, passing the ball very, very well, demonstrating we can pass the ball well. Chelsea did grow into it a bit. Gonzalo Higuain looked a threat coming forward. He was exploiting space and all that. Where was Gonzalo Higuain? And I think he did have a couple of opportunities. So at times he did look dangerous. Eden Hazard looked dangerous, a few times on that left-hand side as well. But Chelsea just didn't really do well with the possession. They had the ball, especially in the second half. They were putting pressure on, but defensively we were fantastic. I don't think there was quite a few chances in the first half, but I couldn't recall a chance in the second half. Chelsea had a lot of the ball in the second half, but they didn't cause any problems at all. They didn't do all with the ball, as I said. And as I said in relation now, to Chelsea, that's our first win at Stamford Bridge, by the way, since 2012, because we know over the recent years, we've had a really, really bad record at Stamford Bridge, as we all currently know. But as I did currently say, guys, we've had a really, really bad record at Stamford Bridge in recent seasons. But as I did say, guys, will the pressure now be mounting up on Maurizio Sarri? Because obviously it's only his first season as Chelsea manager, is Maurizio Sarri. Obviously, as all Chelsea fans are aware, he's obviously got a different philosophy. As I did say earlier video, that in terms of winning silverware and that, obviously he hasn't won any silverware as a manager, so he really doesn't have that winning pedigree in that aspect, where it does, Maurizio Sarri. But it's only his first season. He joined last summer. I think he signed a 3-year deal with Chelsea, did Maurizio Sarri, because we know Chelsea are known for sacking, a lot of managers in a short period of time. As I did say earlier on in the video, I've watched some of the Chelsea fan cams. Some are Maurizio still in. They're saying give him a bit more time. And some are saying, Maurizio Sarri out, as I currently said. But he hasn't won out in terms of silverware, so he isn't really he isn't proven in that aspect, Maurizio Sarri. But as I did say, as reports were saying, if Chelsea, don't get top 4 this season, they don't qualify for the Champions League next season, Sarri's job could be over as Chelsea manager. He could be sacked, very, very soon, to be quite honest. He could be sacked, before the end of the season. So that will be a very, very short tenure indeed. But as I did say, Chelsea have got games coming up thick and fast. They've got the second leg of the Europa League on Thursday coming up against Malmo. Then they've got a big, big game in the Carabao Cup final against Man City on Sunday. Who's the next game after that? The next league game is Tottenham as well. That's going to be a very, very difficult game for Chelsea as well. But they've been very, very poor away from home this season. Chelsea, very, very poor indeed. But the heavy defeats have been suffering. Bournemouth away 4-0, Man City away 6-0. This is why the pressure is on Maurizio Sarri, as I currently said. This is why the pressure is on Maurizio Sarri, as I said. But Chelsea have got a lot of problems of their own. As I currently said, they've got a lot of problems, because I do expect, that Chelsea players are there's going to be Chelsea players that are going to definitely leave their club in the summer, without a shadow of a doubt. Carrie Cahill's being constantly left out of the squad. Danny Drinkwater hasn't played this season for Chelsea, as I actually forgot to mention. David Luiz's contract is up in the summer. They didn't find a replacement for Fabregas in the January transfer window as well, so they'll plan to get a replacement for Fabregas in the summer. They obviously need a backup for Jorginho as well, the Chelsea. Obviously, as well, in relation to Eden Hazard, I definitely think he's going to be going in the summer. As I did say, the only chance I think Chelsea have got of keeping Eden Hazard is if Chelsea do finish in the top 4, as I said. But Eden Hazard, I think he's intending that he does want to make the move to Real Madrid in the summer. As I currently said, I think he's intending he wants to make the move to Madrid in the summer. Obviously, it will cost Real Madrid around £100 million, because I do think that's what Chelsea are demanding. I still think Eden Hazard is still in his mid-20s. Is Eden Hazard, isn't he? But he's grown and developed fantastically well as a Chelsea player. He's still definitely, Chelsea's best player, one of Chelsea's best players without a shadow of a doubt. I think he's still the third best player in the Premier League, behind Salah and Kevin De Bruyne, is Eden Hazard, because I think he's very, very good on the left-hand side. Can play as an attacking mid, but mainly a left winger. Obviously, before Gonzalo Higuain came in, he was obviously playing in the false number 9 role, but since Higuain's come coming. He's obviously playing on that left-hand side now. He's obviously favoured position Eden Hazard. This is his seventh season with Chelsea. Of course, he's won everything in English football with Chelsea as well. Eden Hazard. He's made over 300 appearances, scored over 100-odd goals. But as I did come to say, he's a very, very good player. Chelsea in the process of being, trying to get him a new contract worth around £300,000 a week. I think Chelsea, are willing to offer him, but there's been no succession in contract negotiations, as I currently said. But his current deal does end next summer, in the summer of 2020. Does Eden Hazard, as I currently said. But I think it did get revealed that he made a decision on his future, and I think he does intend, to make the move to Real Madrid in the summer. So if that does happen, obviously Chelsea, will have to find a replacement, for Eden Hazard as well. Again, Callum Hudson-Odoi didn't play yesterday for Chelsea again. I think he's going to be going to Bayern Munich in the summer. If I'm going to be quite honest with you, I think he's going to be going to Bayern Munich in the summer. He's Callum Hudson-Odoi, if I'm going to be quite honest with you, because in relation, to Callum Hudson-Odoi, I think he's going to Munich in the summer because Bayern Munich, tried getting him, throughout the January transfer window. Bayern Munich in the process winning negotiations because Bayern Munich have obviously got quite a few major players and looking to get some young players, that can grow, develop and mould in their team. Of course, Bayern Munich, but they did express a strong interest in Callum Hudson-Odoi. In the process, I think Bayern Munich had 3 bids turned down. The recent 3 bids turned down. I think the recent bid Bayern Munich put in just before the end of the January window, I think they put around the bidding of £35-40 million, but Chelsea were reluctant, to let him go. So basically, Chelsea were being ruthless. In this scenario. But Chelsea have been trying to convince him to sign a new contract. Callum Hudson-Odoi, he turned this down, as I said. Chelsea weren't willing to let him leave in January, but I think he's going to make the in summer because he's only 18 years of age. He wants to be playing first team football week in, week out, and obviously he's not getting this as a Chelsea player, Callum Hudson-Odoi, but he has been a Chelsea player, since the age of 8. So I think he could be going to Munich in the summer as well. But Chelsea definitely, if Gary Cahill leaves in the summer, if David Luiz doesn't sign a new contract, they're going to need a central defender. I still think potentially they need a fullback as well because they have got a few aging up players. They need a replacement for Fabregas in the summer as well and a backup for Jorginho. They're going to need a replacement for Hazard if he leaves in the summer as well. So they have got a lot of problems. But all Chelsea fans, in this situation, will have a different opinion, regarding Maurizio Sarri. Some are saying out, some are saying give him a bit more time, to maybe invest in the summer, as I currently said. But Chelsea do know that they've got a lot of problems, without a shadow of a doubt, indeed. But as I did say in relation to my club, Manchester United, I do expect, players to leave in the summer. There has been more talks going on in relation, to Antonio Valencia and all that. Reportedly, he said in the Mirror, reportedly that West Ham, I actually heard a narrative that West Ham, were actually interested in Valencia. He did actually say that Watford have also been interested in Antonio Valencia as well. Antonio Valencia, of course, has been one of the longest servants here as a Manchester United player. As we all know, he's been here since 2009. We got him from Wigan. He's made over 300 appearances as Antonio Valencia, since he's currently been. He's made over 300 appearances, as we all know. But obviously, he hasn't really played this season, Antonio Valencia. He's hardly played in the Premier League because we know mainly Ash Young's our first choice right back. Of course, he suffered a few injuries as well as Antonio Valencia, as I said. And I think he's just recently suffered another injury, so he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. Is Valencia. And of course, in relation as well to Ashley Young, we've just recently signed him a new 1-year extension on his current contract, Ashley Young. Obviously, we know that he's our first choice right back as well, Ashley Young. I do think he's past it now because Valencia and Ashley Young, of course, are both 33 years of age. As we all currently know, they're both 33 years of age. As I said, they're too old now. Maybe we may go for, a new full right back in the summer. We have got Diego Dalot, but he's not really got that experience because he's only 19 years of age. So he's very, very young in his generation. But I do see Valencia leaving in the summer because there was speculation of him leaving throughout the course of the January transfer window. Valencia, I don't think we're willing to offer him a new 1-year. We're not willing to offer him a new 1-year extension on his contract term as well. So I do see him leaving in the summer of Valencia, to be quite honest with you. But I did say I do expect, a few players to leave. Same with Matteo Darmian. He's another player I think is going to go. He had a lot of experience of playing in Italy, when he was a lot younger in his prime, Matteo Darmian. Obviously, he's out for a couple of weeks, because he's just recently suffered another injury as well as Matteo Darmian. It did say Juventus and Inter Milan were interested, throughout the course of the January window, as I said. I don't even know if we actually triggering a 1 year extension on his contract. I've been saying that, you know, and quite a few of my videos in relation to that. I mean, because I thought he said we triggered a 1 year extension on his contract. Oh, we do have the option to trigger a 1 year extension on his contract. So I think, you know, if we can get them offers, and, you know, he is set to leave, I think then Man United will trigger a 1 year extension on his contract, so then we can cash in for the player, because he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time, you know, as a Manchester United player, as Matteo Darmian. He's struggled to get a run of games under his belt, obviously hasn't been first choice, obviously he's been here, of course, since 2015, as well as Matteo Darmian, so he could well leave Manchester United in the summer as well. But yeah, we've got Wolves in the next round of the Cup away from home. Not going to be as easy as you think, because Wolves have played really, really well this season, to be quite honest with you. They've got some good players. Don't really know much about Wolves, if I'm going to be honest with you, but I know that they're 7th in the Premier League. They knocked Liverpool out of the FA Cup as well. But I think we can, you know, win this Cup, you know, without a shadow of a doubt. The only team that could stop us is obviously, you know, Man City, you know, they're the team, you know, that could potentially, you know, stop us, as I say. But yeah, that's mainly everything to give you an update on. But there'll be more live videos coming up very, very soon. What day is it today? It's Tuesday. The Liverpool preview will be coming up later on in the week. But as I did say, the main part of this video is in relation to Jadon Sancho. Reportedly, he will only agree to join Manchester United in the summer if Manchester United get Champions League, if we get top 4 and obviously get Champions League qualification for next season, then he will come. I think reportedly, I think there's been a bit of a change of scenery now. Reportedly, Borussia Dortmund, I think, want around £100 million, even though it did say the other week that the reportedly they wanted around £70 million for Jadon Sancho. But, you know, he broke into the England first team last year, you know, and his performances have been good. Since he's broke into the Borussia Dortmund first team, his performances have been very, very good indeed. Only 18 years of age, Jadon Sancho. That's staggering amounts of money, you know, for a young player like that. You know, that's staggering amounts of money, you know, for a young 18-year-old. As I said, obviously he's not highly experienced because he's only very, very young, but he has given a fantastic name for himself in Germany. As Jadon Sancho, as I said. So anyway, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. There will be more live videos coming up very, very soon. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe to my channel as always, and we'll be back very, very soon, guys. Take care.